All right, let's start off by saying Barak Hashem Yahushai Bahashem B'cha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is, what does that have to do with buying or selling? And pretty much this is a lesson based around the video that we watched a little while ago. Elder where he made a Freudian slip. And pretty much, you know, when we were in Des Moines, we did a lesson, you know, addressing that issue too. You know, because when the law speaks about signs or something like that, it's not talking about actually writing the law down. And we actually covered that in that lesson, you know, because it was talking about something physical. You know, you had the phylacteries, of course. You also had the, you know, the frontlets, as the scriptures speak about the frontlets. You know, in the Old Testament, we're going to get that, you know, and we're going to start off there. So go to the book of Deuteronomy. I believe that's chapter 6. We're going to start off there, and then we're going to hit the one in Matthew 23, Lord's will. Let's start off in Deuteronomy chapter 6, I believe it is. I believe it starts at 4. Yep, start at 4. Yep. Start at the 4th verse, and then we'll read from there. Matter of fact, do me a solid. Go to the blue letter. Get it out of the blue letter.
Okay, come.
You got a blue letter right there, yep. Or you could pull up another one. Because I want to be able to get the actual word out of there. And you know what's crazy is that as you're listening to Captain Tazariak, right? You know, he's a very intelligent fellow, you know. He's very intelligent. He knows how to research. He knows how to look things up because he learned first from Great Millstone, GMS, of course. And so he's not a dummy. You know, he is very intelligent. You know, knows how to look things up. And you could see when Salnetta was asking him those questions that he was pretty much pulling that out of his ass. You know, that whole, you know, running, that was just something that he was going off of the fly. You know, he was just making the shit up as he went along. You know, none of that shit made any rhyme or no sense, no rhyme or no reason. You know, and this is what happens when, you know, when you don't have the true and proper understanding of the scripture, especially the MOTB, which is a very, 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 very important prophecy, especially in these times that we see the conveyor belt of proof going out there. All the receipts are stacked to the ceiling. There's no more room for receipts in that room. You know, everything is stacked to the ceiling. You know, and you see it all happening. And when they make it mandatory, and they will, because we have a more sure word of prophecy, you're going to find out that we had it right all along. Great Millstone, beginning with the Elder Apostle Tahar on down. We had it right the whole time. You know, because we've been telling you that these things are coming even before they had any physical proof of the things that we see now. Now you're seeing the manifestation of the prophecy of the MOTB, you know, being the micro C here. Before, you didn't see all of this proof coming out, even though they had a lot of, you know, of technology back then that they didn't really come out with yet, but they still had it. Because whenever you see something being pushed out in that in the world scene, I believe it had already 20 years in the making. It had already been invented 20 years ago. So what you're seeing now concerning the AI, concerning the MOTB, the micro C hip, and all of that, concerning, you know, the different palm readers and all that, they've been had this out there. Only thing is it wasn't actually pushed into the public because, you know, they had a set time for everything. And really the Lord kept throwing monkey wrenches in there because there was a certain set time for these things to happen. So let's read Deuteronomy 6. If a matter of fact, you know what? Go to Revelation, Bakasha, 13 and 16, and let's read that. If you're tired of us, if you're tired of hearing Revelation 13 and 16 being read and broken down, move on to another verse, please.
Con. It's Revelation 13 and verse 6. And he calls it all.
Meaning all. Who's the he? The beast. Calls it all. Every single person in the world that is within the grid. You know, like Elder Pastor said years ago, or maybe last year or something like that, You have people that are in remote places of the world, in the Amazon jungles and certain places where they don't interact with the world, grid, so to speak. That doesn't apply to them because they don't trade in that fashion. They do it the old-fashioned way. But all means everyone that is involved in this world system. Go ahead.
It says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right. So he causes all of the people that are in the grid of this system, that is the economic system of buying and selling, traveling, going on vacations.
Yeah, commerce.
What's that?
Commerce.
Commerce. Because if they want to conduct business in this new world, this new society, they never care. Well, the MOTB, it's a part of the system. If you help the mind, if you actually put it into use with the hand, that's what represents the mind in the hand. But what they don't ever touch with buying and selling. Those are facts. So read that, Babakasha. With buying and selling. Those are facts. So read that, Babakasha.
It says, and that no man might buy or sell.
Right. That no man might buy or sell. Go ahead.
Save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Right, because this is how the system is going to be set up. Now go do me a favor. Go right there and click on the 17th verse on the tools, and then get the word buy, and then we'll get the word sell. This is how business is going to be done in this future system, new world order. Go ahead, read that. Agorazo.
Buy.
Which is where you get the word agora or marketplace.
Agorazo. It says to be in the marketplace, to attend it, to do business there, buy or sell.
To do business there, buy or sell. Go ahead.
It says of idle people to hunt the marketplace, lounge there.
Right, because you see people like today, the term today would be the mall or the swap meet or wherever it is, you call it flea market or whatever it is you call it in your area. You have people they're idle. Sometimes they're just sitting there. Sometimes they're in line. Sometimes they're purchasing items. Sometimes they're buying fried bread.
Yep.
Or they might be buying, pinchos.
Yeah, they have like these couches you can rest, massage chairs. They, in the malls, they always have these rest areas where you can go and sit down if you want to eat some food in a certain place of the mall before you go in the store. It's like chairs, like couches and stuff,
Right.
But they're there to spend money.
Exactly. Doing business. To do business there, buy or sell. So now go to the next one. Go back and then go to the word sell. See what comes up.
Oh, shit.
Go one more. Yep. And let's see what the word sell is a little different. No, go to the The word there is poleo. Poleo.
Poleo. It says to barter, to sell, of sellers.
Right, because you have buyers, people that go there as customers, and you have the retailers, the people that are selling their merchandise. Okay? And that's what it's about, buying and selling. So this MOTB, which is a part of the system, is not just the system itself, but it's the way that you operate business in the system. Okay? Because you have some individuals that say, well, no, the micro CHIP is a part of the whole beast system. And it's the beast system. Yeah, it's a part of the beast system, but the buying and selling part, the MARK, is the micro CHIP. That's what it's talking about. Okay? And if you're not breaking it down like that, you're sending mixed signals out there to the people. You're going to cause them to take it, and you're going to be dealt with because you're supposed to know better. And it's not like you have an excuse, like it's a great deep mystery, because the Lord has the prophets out here breaking it down to you in plain English. All right? So now.
Can I read this
yes,
part? It says, It says to be busy, to trade,
You got it.
to barter as a peddler. It says to sell whatever is sold.
That's right.
You know, so right now you can go in the mall and what do they have those? Oh, we buy gold places, where there are places
Right.
where they'll buy your gold. So that's considered bartering because you're trading one thing for another thing.
Right.
You're trading gold for cash. You know, so that's where trade comes in. You know, so you won't be. It has everything to do with the money system, because in order to trade, you have to have something that is worth. You either trying to receive money, or you either trying to receive money or give money for something.
Right.
You know, or trade something for something. You know.
That's right. You know, and that's what it's about. And that's one thing that these guys never touch on. They'll touch upon the information, and if you go to the military, you know, that means with the mind you're receiving it, and then with, you know, when you put the action forward, you know, into actually getting into it, that means that, you know, that's the hand part and then the head part. No, and then you have others that say that Revelation 17, that cup and then the forehead, the whore's forehead and the cup in the hand, that's the MOTB. That's not the MOTB. That's a part of the system. But it's not a part of it's not the MOTB. The MOTB is specific, something that you're gonna have to use to barter or to make, you know, purchases or to sell in this new system that's coming. All right, now let's go to Deuteronomy 6, because Captain Tazayak said that Deuteronomy that when the law speaks about signs, that it's not talking about, you know, something that's actually written down or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly verbatim how he said it, but you know, you brothers that's watched it numerous times, you know what he said. So go to the 4th verse.
Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one.
Yeah, that's where you get the Shemai prayer. Shemai, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allah Yahweh, Echad. All right, so go ahead.
It says, and thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
Right, and how do you do that? By doing the things that the Lord instructed us to do. By his instructors. You know, the spiritual conductors, you know, so to speak, which are the prophets. Go ahead.
It says,
And these words.
and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart.
Right, because, you know, you're supposed to read it, attain it in your mind, and go back and speak it to the people. Go ahead.
It says, and thou shalt teach them diligently and unto thy children,
Right,
and shall
teach them diligently unto thy children. Go ahead.
and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way,
Right.
and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
Right, because that's supposed to be the conversation about the truth, the knowledge, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord.
Yep.
You know, the prophecies.
Conversations.
So
I'm sorry.
No,
Conversations in the heavens. The scripture say our conversation is in the heavens. You know, so we always have a heavenly conversation. You know,
that's right, brother. That's right.
it's all about building.
That's it, and that's what it means to build. You know, verse 8.
It says, and thou shalt write them upon the post.
No.
Oh, so, I mean, Salakia. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and thou shalt be, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
Right, now go to the blue letter and type that in.
Okay, kind of do that.
So, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and thou shalt. Let me grab that real quick. It says, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. That's talking about literally, actually writing them down. Not that you take a pen and you write down a quill and write it on your arm. That's what the frontlets and the phylacteries and it wrapping around your arm was all about. So go to the word frontlet and click on that right there.
frontlets.
yeah.
Salakia.
Yep.
Right here.
Yep. And the word there for frontlet is tawath, right? And what does it mean? Go down.
It says bands, phylacteries, frontlets, marks.
Right. Now go to the word phylacteries, right? And
Mm-hmm.
copy that. Can you like copy that and then just go to the does it give you I don't know if it gives you the option to go no go to the Google.
Oh,
Look it up
okay.
in Google, yeah. I don't know if it gives you the option to click on it and just say go to Google or whatever. Sometimes it does. All right, let's go to the definition. Read that.
A small leather box containing Hebrew text in vellum, worn by Jewish men at morning prayer as a reminder to keep the law.
Right, a small leather box containing Hebrew text or vellum. Now there's another one. I'm not sure what is it. Matter of fact, go back to the definition. Yeah, and that those are devils. I'm sorry, not
Yeah,
the
of course.
definition.
Yeah.
Go back to Deuteronomy 6 in the right there. Yep. And go back to frontlets.
Somebody, okay.
Oh no, is that it right there? No, that's something else. Go back to frontlets. Right. Yep. And scroll down. Let me see something. Between the bands, figure of perpetual remembrance. All right. Go down some more. Click on that. Read the full entry. Go down some more.
Right here.
Yep. Click that. Now read that.
It says bands, fillets, especially those worn by the Jews at prayers. It says scrolls of parchment with sentences written on them out of the law of Moses.
Right, and it gives you the scriptures where what was written in it, dealing with the frontlets. That was actually something physically that you would write and put it on you. Right? Now, keep on going.
It says have been accustomed to wear at prayers.
Start up where it says right after the scripture.
It says which the Jews have been accustomed to wear at prayers, bound to the forehead and to the left wrist.
Right. Go ahead.
It says it requires proof that the Jewish phylacteries are here intended by these fillets or bandages.
It is. It's telling you what it is. What proof? What more proof do you need? Because that is exactly what the frontlets are. You put it. You take different scriptures where it speaks about the frontlets and different things, and you write them down, and you put them in that box. You put it on your head, and you wrap it around your head and around your arm. Matter of fact, go from there, hold that, and go to. Matter of fact, go to the blue letter right there. Yep. Click on that one, and go to the Matthew 23. Matthew the 23rd chapter.
It's a lot. Yeah, hold on.
Matthew 23. And I'm not sure the exact verse, so just scroll down, till you find it. It's a little it's at the beginning, somewhere in the beginning. Shoulders, right there, 5.
5. Matthew 23 and 5. But all these works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries. It says, and enlarge the borders of their garments.
Right. So now open that up and go to the word phylacteries. These were actual physical things that Jake would wear back then, that contained the writings, certain writings of the law. Phylacterion. Go ahead. Go down.
It says
right there, yep.
a fortified place provided with the garrison of
Skip to the
station.
next one. That's
It says
something else.
a preservative or safeguard, an amulet.
Yep.
It said the Jews
Read a little louder.
the Jews used this word to describe small strips of parchment in which were written the following passages of the law of Moses.
Right. Read it.
Exodus 13, 1 through 10. It says
11 to 16.
also 11 through 16. It says Deuteronomy 6, 4 through 9. And it says also Deuteronomy 11:13-21,
Right.
in which enclosed in a small case, they were accustomed when engaged in prayer to wear fastened by a leather strap to the forehead and to the left arm over against the heart, in order that they might thus be solemnly reminded of the duty of the keeping of the commandments of God in the head and in the heart, according to the direction given in Exodus 13:16.
Now, hold it right there, yeah, and read that. Hold it right over that, yep, and read that.
Exodus 13:16. And it shall be, and it shall be for a token upon thine hand, and for frontlets between thine eyes, for by strength of hand the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt.
Right. So these are physical things that our forefathers did. All right. Now read the rest of it. No, you don't have to read that. Don't worry about that. Just go to these.
Okay.
Where it
So
says these.
it says these scrolls were thought to have the power, like amulets to avert various evils and to drive away demons. And the Pharisees were accustomed to make broad their phylacteries.
Right, because they wanted to show their works before men. They get praise of men. Go ahead.
Men pleasers.
Men pleasers, exactly. The water.
It says that they might render them more conspicuous,
Right.
and show themselves to be more eager than the majority to be reminded of the law of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh.
Now let's go back to Deuteronomy 6. Because where we read, no, you had it up. You already have it up there. Go right there. Now go back. No. Go,
Okay, so like it.
Did it blue letter? Yep. Now
So
go,
like
yep.
it.
Reverse. Now
Verse.
etc. that. Now read verse 8 again.
Deuteronomy 6:8. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
We just read about that. The phylacteries. Go ahead.
And thou shalt write them.
You shall what?
Thou shalt write them.
You shall what?
Thou shalt write them
Go ahead.
upon the posts of the house and on thy
Now
gates.
let's go to just look at the word written. All right. Let's go to that. Let's go open the tools up. Go to that word. Right on top.
Oh, sorry. And thou shalt write them.
Right. The word kathar, which means writing, because you have the Tanakh. The Tanakh is a composition of 3 words. Tanakh, Tha is Tawara, which is the law. The Na is Nabayayim, which are the prophets. And the Ka at the end is Kawathab or Kawathab Yum, which are the writings, which is the history. So you have the law, which comprises the first 5 books. You have the prophets, which deal with the prophets, the major prophets, the minor prophets. Then you have the Kawathabium, which is the writings, which is the history. Such as 1st, 2nd Samuel, 1st, 2nd King, 1st, 2nd Chronicles, Esther, and the rest, Judges, Joshua, and the rest of it. All right. So now go ahead.
It says to write, record, enroll, to write, inscribe, engrave, write in, write on.
Right.
To write down, describe in writing.
So pretty much it's to write. So go back and read that again. Go back to the verse and read that again.
Deuteronomy 6 and 8.
9.
9. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates.
This is a physical thing. For what? For the purpose. What was the purpose of it? To remind us, to remember. You even had it, when you went to the gates. When you went to the gates of the elders. And that's where they would actually judge matters. And what were they judging the matters according to? According to the law. And they had a copy of the law there for them to be able to read it. So these are physical things that you do, And the MOTB, in order to buy or sell, is going to be a physical thing. Because everybody right now is buying and selling. So you mean to tell me that everybody has a MOTB, everybody has an MARK, everybody has a micro C-HIP? No. Because how are you able to still buy or sell? because the MOTB hasn't been put in place yet. But the system is going in place right now. This is why you have the G20 and other, the Shanghai, the different BRICS nations and all that, speaking about CBDCs, central bank currency, how does that go? CBDC, central bank digital currency.
Yep.
Because everything is being pushed in that direction. 15-minute cities, smartphones, smart everything. Because they're pushing everyone into a corner with this technology that they're bringing in, so that no one will be able to interact in this system economically unless they accept, unless they accept what, they deem to be the currency of the future. And that currency of the future to buy or sell is talking about the MARK, which is the micro CHIP. This is what they're using. This is why they're getting everybody accustomed to eye scans, face scans. They're getting everybody accustomed to palm reading. They're getting everybody to get accustomed to doing digital, to buy things digitally, to buy things, without using money. The majority of people in the world today don't carry cash on them. I make all of my purchases with cash. All of my purchases I make with cash. There's not a purchase I don't make that I don't make without cash. But I do pay my bills online through my credit card, or debit card. Now you go to certain places, health spots, where you get, smoothies and acai bowls and different things of that nature, and most of them are not taking cash anymore. But they'll take cash tips, though.
They got that tips already, though, don't they?
Yeah. So you cannot tell me that the micro CHIP is not the MOTB when everything is pushing and leaning in that direction. The whole society, the whole system is leaning in that direction. So Captain Tazariak made a novice mistake, in saying that when the Lord said about the law and the signs, that wasn't talking about something physical or something along those lines. I forget how he said it. He was wrong. He erred in not knowing the scriptures.
Because I was just gonna say, like, you couldn't even first of all, the first red flag is it doesn't take 15 minutes to answer a question that simple.
Right.
Either it is or it's not. But whenever you have to have a 13 to 15 minute explanation just to answer one question, that's a red flag.
Yep.
And then at the end of him answering it, you're still unsure about what it is.
Right. Still scratching your head.
You're still like, so is it?
Right.
And then, that's absolutely no scriptural proof of what you were saying.
Right.
Was brought out. It's information and it's the action of your hand. Okay, but what does that have to do with buying or selling?
Exactly.
We don't run the system of buying and selling. So how is that going to be in our power to have the action of hand to do it?
Right.
We don't own the whole yeah, of course people got small businesses and such
but
and
they
such.
Still got to go to ESOL to get everything.
Exactly. You got to get licensed by this man. And this man can take your business anytime they're saying what? It's going to be another coming demic.
Lockdown? Yeah,
lockdown. So what happens to small businesses if another lockdown comes? A lot of them will be shut down.
They go under.
So he has the power to take your business. If you're not there to pay taxes on that building or paying the overhead of that building, then what happens?
They take your business.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And pretty much, that's what they do. You have something?
Yeah, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, I will stand up on my watch and set me up on the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. How's people gonna run with a 13-minute answer for one question? You just talk circles around yourself, okay? So people should have full understanding of what you're saying, why you're saying it. And people should understand, like, okay, so what does that have to do with buying and selling? You know, what does that have to do with buying and selling at the end of the day? Because you buy and sell in the agora, right? The markets, you know? But I'm gonna look up this word, this phrase, make it plain or plain.
Yeah, pretty much. You have to, not be ambiguous when you're answering a question, especially something as important as the MOTB. You have to make it plain. The scriptures say, if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare themselves for the battle?
Yep, exactly.
And unless you use words easy to be understood, you're going to be speaking to the wind.
Exactly. You people should have full understanding of what's being said.
Hey, the scriptures say, "Let your yeas be yea and your nay be nay." Anything more than that, from that comes evil.
And we understood you said it was information and action, but when you want to explain those, it was no scriptural explanation.
Now that part of, I'm sorry, now that part of you could have said the cup that's in the hand, that applies to that, but not the MOTB. You got it.
It's plain Bawar. It says to make plain distinct. It says to make clear. It says to declare letters on the tablet. So, but you're supposed to make it clear what's being said, what you're being said. And you watch that and it's like, okay, where's the scriptural knowledge to back this up? Okay, but why don't you go into the next verse? Why is buying and selling being mentioned?
Right.
Hey, we supposed to be able to convince the gainsayer. Right?
Yep.
I'm not convinced. and meanwhile, while we're not being convinced, we got what we're saying it is barreling down. Hey, they're actually saying that people that don't take this new ID will not be able to participate in society.
That's it.
This is what they're saying.
And this is what the prophecy says. Does it not? That no man might buy or sell save he that had the MARK. And the closer we get to the end, the more evidence is going to come out that the MOTB is a micro CHIP, and the more scrambling and rambling and arse pulling, bullshit out of your brain, trying to talk your way in circles around, the obvious. Because eventually it's going to come to a point where it's just going to be blatant. It's already blatant. If you got your eyes open, if you ain't got your head stuck up your ass, it's already blatant that the MOTB is a micro CHIP and this new system that they're putting in place, this digital system. So if your head is not stuck far up your ass and you're just not in the cloud somewhere, you can see it plainly. We are not ignorant to Satan's devices. We are not in darkness that they should overtake us as a thief, because we see it plainly, while the rest of you are playing around with it.
Yeah.
You got something?
No, that was it. You got something else, or?
No, I don't. I mean, unless you have something else. I mean, the point is already made. The frontlets, the phylacteries, that's all something physical that you would put certain scriptures in the law in that box, put it around your head, and wrap it around your head and your arms. Then you would also write it at the post of your door, because it was a witness against us. It was something to remember. It's impossible to remember every word from Genesis all the way to Deuteronomy, to remember every word in there. That's why you would write it down. That's why every Sabbath, the priest would read the law to the people, and then they would give the sense of the law to the people. Physical. Just like the MOTB is physical. All right? So what does that, capital THAT, have to do with buying or selling? All of the crap that you guys are spewing out there, it's sin in all its forms. You know, it's taking the information from the system and then putting it into action. What does that have to do with buying or selling? You have any other words?
No, that's pretty much it.
So with that, we pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. Till the next time we say, Shalom.
Shalom.